Please don't eat me, the little alien girl begged silently in my mind. At first, I thought I was hallucinating. I was only in the kitchen, in socks and an old hoodie, trying to make some calming tea. Nothing dramatic, nothing cinematic. Just my stomach making noises like an old car refusing to start. Tea felt better than Googling. Can stress melt your organs? So I wandered in, pulled open a utensil drawer, and bam! My head exploded with a scream. Not a regular scream. Not a mouse in the cupboard scream. This one sounded like someone was shaking a haunted violin inside my skull. Please don't eat me, big human. I jumped like I'd touched a live wire, flipped over a chair, and launched my tea bag across the room like a soggy grenade. The spoon I had been after clattered to the ground. And standing right there in the drawer, next to my lemon zester like it was a miniature castle, was her, tiny, maybe 6 inches tall, built like a sci-fi figurine someone had 3D printed out of pearl and moonlight. Her limbs were long, her fingers came in threes, and her face looked weirdly familiar, like a half-finished human drawn from memory. But it was her ears that caught me off guard, swept back and pointed, almost graceful, more like alien ballet props than antennas. She held a fork-shaped thing, translucent and humming like it was slightly out of sync with reality. She raised it like a weapon. Her little boot skidded on the drawer liner. Whoa, I said, raising my hands. I don't eat people. Or tiny aliens. I don't even eat spinach, to be honest. Her voice echoed again in my brain, suspicious and dramatic. You earth beast devour all. We've seen your feasts, your open flames, your chocolate-oozing ceremonies. You mean Esmores? She blinked, her giant purple glowing eyes narrowing. You incinerate innocent sugar creatures, she said, aghast, and laughed while doing it. Well, when you say it like that, I scratch my head. They're snacks. You roast marshmallows. Add chocolate. It's tradition. She didn't lower the fork. It started humming louder. Behind her, something glinted. It looked like a shiny, squashed ornament had crash-landed into the drawer. That had to be her ship. Like an alien perfume bottle got dropped in a department store and started pulsing with confused energy. I crouched slowly, trying not to spook her more. Look, I'm not going to grill you. You're like bite-sized. That's not even practical. She didn't answer, just kept glaring at me like I was moments away from flipping her into a frying pan. Thinking fast, I went to pantry. Okay, hear me out. Have you ever tasted a marshmallow? She hesitated. Is this psychological warfare? No, I said, breaking off a corner and setting it on the counter. It's sugar. Try it. She inched forward like a scientist inspecting alien goo. Her fork twitched. She poked it, sniffed, then, ever so carefully, nibbled, and then she melted. Oh! Her voice whispered like a warm breeze. Starlight and nebulae. She crumpled onto the counter, cradling the marshmallow chunk like it was a sacred relic. This is forbidden on my world. Yeah, I said, watching her blissed-out face. That tracks. Next thing I knew, I was setting her up in a fish tank. Because honestly, there was no handbook for tiny sugar-addicted alien moves into your drawer. I padded the tank with cotton, built bunkers out of cardboard, even made a popsicle stick shelf. She called it structurally unsound and immediately started pacing like a tiny general. No defenses. No cloaking. This is a see-through dome of doom. It's a salad bowl, I replied. We call it decorative. Your species is bold, she said, squinting at me. Or very dumb. Probably both, I admitted. Every time I walked into the room too fast, she'd dive behind a spoon or buzz her fork at me. I started announcing myself like I was entering a zoo enclosure. It's me, the not dangerous roommate, bearing treats. Sometimes she'd yell back, state your galactic ID or face vaporization. Honestly, it made breakfast more interesting. Her name, she eventually told me, was Tynix. Her species? The Kalari. She crash-landed due to what she described as organic propulsion hiccups. Translation: Her ship burped and fell out of orbit into my cutlery drawer. She also claimed my air had corrupted her biology forever. Your molecules are spicy and loud, she said dramatically, sipping water from a thimble. It's like being kissed by an exploding sun. Also, she insisted my cat had tried to murder her. Okay, technically Mittens did sniff her once and maybe pounced. I put a mixing bowl over her tank after that. Tynix was relentless with questions. Why do you heat food using box radiation instead of vibration fields? Why hide your toes in cloth tubes? Are your presidents chosen through televised dance battles? I answered as best I could, sometimes truthfully, sometimes not. In exchange, she told me the Kalari live in cities made of living coral and cold clouds. They talk with brain waves and sing to mushrooms to open wormholes. I wasn't sure if she was joking. She never laughed. But the marshmallows, those were her obsession. She called them soft fuel and demanded them like a royalty craving forbidden fruit. When I ran out once, she broadcast harp music full of existential sadness directly into my brain for an hour. To cheer her up, I built a mini campfire. Well, a tea light. She toasted a marshmallow using a toothpick, like she was wielding a sacred torch. This is ceremonial, she whispered. It's dessert, I said. Just don't light it on fire. It caught fire, she screamed, dove behind the salt. Why? Because sugar burns good, I replied, patting out the flame. Also, we're all a little pyromaniac deep down. Eventually, she bit the burnt marshmallow and whispered, I forgive the fire. We started to get along. She stopped zapping dream broadcasts into my head. I stopped panicking when she climbed out of the tank in the middle of the night. It was almost normal, then the lights flickered. The air got weird, not spooky, but heavy, like something invisible had just sighed through the building. Tynix froze, marshmallow mid-bite. That's not ideal, she whispered. I frowned. Did my toaster just summon a ghost? She didn't answer. She ducked into her makeshift bunkers, emerged with a metal ball, and twisted it until it bloomed open like a puzzle made of nerves. They found me. Who? The Galactic Regulation Council. Anti-Contact Division. That's a lot. We call them the GRC. That sounds like an evil banking agency. They are, she said, but with lasers. Cool. So I'm breaking space laws now. She nodded. Fantastic. Now I wasn't just housing a stowaway marshmallow junkie. I was officially an accessory to interstellar lawbreaking. Outside, the clouds started swirling like milk and coffee. Something shimmered in the sky. I need your help, she said, standing tall on the counter, fist size and serious. I don't even have pants on, I muttered. She projected a hologram of her ship, still dented, still jammed by my garlic press. Red waves pulse from it like angry radar. They're tracing the signal. I have to shut it down, or they'll lock down this whole planet. I blinked. Like quarantine? She nodded grimly. Memory wipes. Hazmat suits. Talking cats wired for surveillance. This was suddenly way above my snack-based diplomacy level. All right, I sighed. Let's save your shiny perfume spaceship. And maybe my apartment too, I added under my breath. I gasped. Mr. Beans would not be okay with this. We got roughly 16 and a half minutes. Tynix said, with the kind of calm that made it feel like this or a crisis was basically her Tuesday. I exhaled slowly. All right, what's the plan? I need tools, she said, arms crossed like a stern dollhouse general. Do you own any resonance welders, phase dampeners, or cross-dimensional cabling? I stared. Does a twist tie count? She gave me a long look. It'll have to. Our emergency toolkit ended up being 2 AA batteries, a slightly magnetic dolphin from fridge, a thumbtack, and a bent paperclip that I'm 60% sure was once part of a sandwich bag. Tynix tied her hair up with a thread of dental floss and launched herself toward her busted ship, now glowing like it was contemplating rebellion. I followed, half crawling, holding a flashlight in my mouth like some malfunctioning maintenance droid from a low-budget sci-fi parody. The ship was open, crumpled like a beetle someone had tried to iron. Symbols glowed along its inner panels. flickering like anxious breathing. Tynix ducked inside, muttering in her sharp whisper alien language, ears twitching like satellite dishes with attitude. I knelt beside the drawer, which was now doubling as a galactic emergency bay. What do I do? When I yell now, hand me the twist tie. Why not now? Because the engine's aligning, and if you interfere too early, your fingerprints might get looped into a different dimension. Okay, that feels like an overreaction, but noted. Tynix connected the batteries to what I think used to be the inside of a birthday card. Wires buzzed. A light blinked. Something beeped, probably sarcastically. Then she stabbed a twist tie into a crevice with surprising drama. A single bloop echoed through the air like someone had just reset reality with a microwave button. The red pulse in the ship's core vanished. The walls stopped vibrating. Nothing exploded. No galactic school principal teleported in to lecture us. Tynix collapsed against the side of the ship, breathing hard. So that was good, right? I looped the echo into subwave static, she muttered. They won't find it now. I slumped onto the linoleum beside her. Cool. That was the scariest thing I've ever done while holding a twist tie. She nodded, also exhilarating. Let's never do that again. Agreed. A long silence. Then she sat up, dusted off her sleeves, and said very seriously, I require another marshmallow. She'd taken over the windowsill now, claimed it really as her morning post. Every sunrise, there she stood, draped in a cape made from a threadbare sock, scanning the street like she expected alien squid invaders to burst out of the neighborhood, recycling bins. To strangers, she looked like a figurine from a forgotten fantasy set. To me, she looked like someone who could, given the wrong Tuesday, launch war on an inflatable flamingo in Mrs. Dorsey's yard. It's tracking me, she said once, pointing at the plastic bird with a breadstick. Its eyes never blink. It's literally full of air and glitter. Exactly. Perfect camouflage. Still, I moved the flamingo a few feet back, just in case. Life settled into a weird rhythm. The sky hadn't torn open again. I stopped checking behind the shower curtain for cosmic agents with memory vacuums. Tynix stopped flinching when the ice machine kicked on. It was like having a very small, overeducated roommate who questioned your every life choice. Why do you humans eat the eggs of other species? Boiled, no less? They're eggs, Tynix. It's normal. But you salt them, as if to purify the guilt. It's called breakfast. She once spent an entire afternoon trying to weaponize dish soap. Another day, I caught her having a silent psychic debate with Fern. Your ficus was being insubordinate, she claimed. When I told my sister about it, she said I needed to stop dating people I made up. I told her it wasn't like that. Then I saw Tynix doing synchronized yoga with a green bean and decided maybe I'd formed an attachment. Her ship, now safely deactivated and stored behind a blender, was dormant unless anything interstellar pinged our zone. In the meantime, Tynix explored. Every drawer became a canyon. The bathtub, a sea of froth trauma. The bookshelf, a knowledge fortress. She watched reality TV once and called it wisdom dueling. She kept a diary on a sticky note. Once I read, Subject expresses unnatural devotion to fuzzy cardigan. Emotionally volatile. Marshmallow dependency persists. For the record, that sweater is the softest thing I own. No regrets. One night, I found her staring at a leaky faucet, holding a dry noodle like it was a lightsaber. I've been analyzing your tech, she said solemnly. It's inconsistent. That's generous. I replied, poking the toaster. This thing burns bread for sport. And your vacuum screams like a wounded beast. Permission to recalibrate? Tynix asked, you want to upgrade my apartment? With smart grav appliances. Maybe a sentient coffee maker. As long as it doesn't sass me before caffeine. Done. That week, chaos reigned. The toaster sang jazz. The fridge showed constellations. The microwave refused to heat tuna, moral concerns. The blender quoted movies. The cat feeder spoke in rhymes. I drew the line when the toilet gave dietary advice. Boundaries, I said. That toilet knows too much. Tynix looked guilty. Maybe I overdid it. She scaled back, somewhat The toaster still hummed lullabies, but she also changed, hummed strange songs, danced in the rain. She was settling in. Then, at 3:12 a.m., the sky tore open. A ship hovered outside, silent and smooth. Tynek stood beneath it in a sleek silver suit, badge glowing. It's for my home. They're giving me a choice, return clean or stay in exile. She looked around at the marshmallow stash, sticky note journal, paperclip ladder. You humans are chaotic, she said, but kind. If you stay, you get to be you. She flicked her hand. The ship vanished. I guess I'm stuck here. I'll add you to the lease. We waffle now. We waffle. And we did. She wasn't just visiting anymore. She was home,